There's a kind of noise we all live with. It's not just traffic or people talking or the hum of daily life. It's the noise inside, the thoughts that don't stop, the feelings that rise and fall without warning, the constant voice in the head that judges, remembers, plans, and worries. Most of us wake up with this voice already speaking. It might tell you what you need to do today, or remind you of something painful from yesterday, or whisper fears about what could go wrong tomorrow. Sometimes it feels like it never stops. Even when we're trying to rest, even when we're laughing with others, even when we're alone in silence, the voice is there. And it's not just the words, it's the way our thoughts make us feel. One memory can bring sadness. One worry can tighten the chest. One imagined future can bring anxiety that feels real, even when nothing has happened yet. The mind pulls us away from now, again and again. But here's the truth. You are not your thoughts. Let that sink in. You are the one watching the thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. And this awareness, this quiet space inside, is where healing begins. The mind has its job. It helps you plan, solve, protect. But somewhere along the way, it forgot to stop. It forgot how to be quiet. It began to take over. And in doing so, it covered something deeper, the heart. When I say heart, I don't just mean emotions or kindness. I mean the center of your being, the place inside you that knows peace even when the world is loud. The part that feels love without needing a reason. The part of you that doesn't need to prove anything because it already knows you are enough. But the mind often stands in the way, not on purpose. It's not evil, it's just scared. It thinks if it keeps thinking, you'll be safe. If it figures out every problem, you'll be okay. If it keeps remembering the past, you won't be hurt again. But what the mind doesn't understand is that its noise is the very thing causing pain now. To heal, we don't need to fight the mind. We just need to learn how to let it quiet down. Like a pond that settles when the wind stops, the mind will settle when we stop feeding it with attention. So how do we quiet the mind? It begins with noticing. Noticing when the mind is speaking. Noticing what it says. Not judging it, not pushing it away, just watching. When a thought comes up, look at it like a cloud in the sky. You don't need to chase it. You don't need to fight it. Just see it and let it pass. You might notice the mind tries to pull you into stories. It brings up the past, saying, "Look what happened." Or it jumps to the future, saying, "What if this goes wrong?" But neither of those places are real right now. They are only thoughts, shapes in the mind. The only real moment is this one, right here, right now. Bring your attention back to now. One of the easiest ways to do this is to listen. Sit still, close your eyes. Listen to the sounds around you. Not the names of things, just the raw sounds. Maybe you hear a bird or a car or the wind or a fridge. Don't think about them, just hear, then listen even deeper. Can you hear the silence beneath the sound? Can you feel that quiet space that holds everything? That's where peace lives. The heart, your true self, lives in that space. It's not loud. It doesn't shout. It whispers. That's why we have to get quiet to hear it. The more you practice this, the more you begin to feel different. You start to see that you don't have to believe every thought. You don't have to chase every emotion. You can just let them come and go like waves in the ocean. And beneath those waves is something steady, something soft and strong and still. That stillness is you. Sometimes people ask, but how do I stay in that quiet space when life gets busy or painful? The truth is, you won't always stay there, and that's okay. The goal isn't to be silent all the time. The goal is to notice when you've been pulled away and gently return. It's like training a wild animal, not with force, but with patience. The mind wants to run. It wants to pull you into stories, arguments, worries. But each time you bring your focus back to your breath, to the sound around you, to this very moment, you are teaching the mind that it's safe to rest. And slowly it begins to listen. You'll notice something beautiful happens when you stop chasing every thought. You begin to feel the space between them. You start to notice the gap, the pause, that little moment of quiet before the next thought comes. And in that small pause, you feel something peaceful, something soft and still. That's the heart. The heart is always speaking, but the mind is often too loud to hear it. The heart doesn't use words. It speaks through feeling, through presence, through a deep sense of knowing. It doesn't argue. It doesn't compare. It just is. When you give the mind space to quiet down, the heart rises up, and what it says is simple. You are okay. You are loved. You don't have to do anything to earn peace. You already have it. You just forgot. This kind of healing doesn't come in one moment. It's not about fixing something that's broken. You were never broken. It's about remembering what's always been there, under the noise, under the fear, under the habits of thinking. The mind has created a version of you, a character. This character has a name, a history, dreams, regrets, and that's okay. It's part of being human. But this character is not the full story. It's only a small part of who you really are. You are not the character. You are the one watching the character. Let that sink in. You are the awareness behind the thoughts, behind the feelings, behind the personality. That awareness is quiet, but strong. It doesn't need a reason to be at peace. It simply is. Try this now. Close your eyes and listen, not just to sound, but to your own awareness. Focus on a sound, maybe the sound of your breath. Then ask yourself, what is it that hears this sound? Can you feel that? That quiet attention, that's you? That's your true self. Now, notice what the mind does. It might say, this is strange, or am I doing this right? That's the ego, the voice that wants to label everything. It doesn't like not being in control. But you don't have to argue with it. Just smile, let it be, and bring your attention back. Keep returning. That's all you need to do. The path is not about doing something new. It's about undoing what distracts you from what's already here. And what's here is enough. When you quiet the mind even just a little, the heart begins to soften. Maybe you start to feel something you've been avoiding, sadness, fear, anger. That's okay. Let it come. Let it pass. You don't need to fix the feeling. You only need to feel it with kindness. The heart doesn't need the mind to solve everything. It needs the mind to get quiet enough so the heart can be heard. In that stillness, something opens. You might start noticing beauty in small things again, the way light falls through a window, the sound of a bird, the warmth of a hand. These things were always there, but the noise of the mind kept you from really feeling them. This is how healing begins, not with a big moment, but with many quiet ones. Little by little, you begin to feel safe again. Not because life is perfect, but because you are resting deeper. You are no longer chasing thoughts or running from feelings. You are learning how to stay, and in that staying, peace returns. So now just breathe, not to fix anything, not to change anything, just to feel what it's like to be here, without rushing, without running, just being. Let the mind rest. Let the body soften. Let the heart, your awareness, simply open. You don't need to understand every thought. You don't need to solve every emotion. You don't need to carry every answer. You're allowed to not know. You're allowed to feel. You're allowed to rest. The world will keep spinning. Life will keep moving. But something in you, deeper than all of that, stays still. Always. And when you get quiet enough to feel it, even for a moment, you remember, you're not the noise. You're not the fear. You're not the roles you've been playing. You're the one who sees it all. You're the one who stays when everything else comes and goes. So let yourself come home to that, again and again. No pressure, no goal, just presence. This isn't the end of something. This is the beginning of peace, a quiet mind, an open heart. And in this quiet, you'll find more than silence. You'll find yourself.